I think, in my opinion, a lot of times I see men try to humble women, especially women that they're with.
Yeah, that's strange.
Even women that they not with, women on the internet. I think that when a man at a certain level and he feel like a woman is either she's above him in whatever regard, whether she make more money than him, whether he might feel like she's more attractive or can attract a better man, whatever. Even if she not above him and he just feel like she can do better, he try to like humble her to like keep her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to know how cold you is before you get to looking at these other niggas and they come take you from me. So I'm gonna make you feel like you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of
So I want to point out something that this guy just said in regards to these men trying to humble you. Because a lot of times, when it comes to looks, you're used to people humbling you with that. But he also just said that basically you'll have a lot of men that will know you are worthy of more based off of your earnings. And it's like for them, the average woman is not deserving of a man that is at her education level or similar in income. And they'll start saying, well, what do you bring to the table? And you're not worthy of that. But then they can all acknowledge that the reason why Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles are kind of ended up together is because they're in a similar tax bracket or the same tax bracket. And so birds of a feather, typically flock together. But I also want to go on to say, he also said in that video that not only could the woman who is higher earning, get someone that is at his level, but she could get better. And I wholeheartedly agree. Like when it comes to Simone Biles, she could get a man that is better looking than Jonathan Owens, that has more money than him, and a man that has more money than him that is not as good looking. She could get a man that has more money than him that is older. She could get a man that's just more attractive than him with no money. Her being at that level gives her more options. And they know this and they try to humble you to make you feel like you're not as deserving. And I'm going to point that out again in the video of where he was saying he was the prize. Real quick, before I play this video, I just wanted to throw out two things. This is my first time actually watching the Pivot interview, the whole thing. And one thing that the guys kept doing was talking about his looks and how he light skinned with pretty eyes. You know how guys are. And then they was like, but he don't play like he a light skinned guy. And the other thing that he talked about was how he started, and he was saying how he grew up poor and he just wanted to go to college and he knew his mama couldn't afford it, and that he, wanted to get he was only going to get the Pell Grant. So I'm throwing this out there because it became a little bit more evident. Yeah, he definitely, he see this as a money opportunity. Not saying that he don't like her, because I think that he actually did hit it off with her and have a bond. And I think for Simone, it doesn't matter as much because she's just like, well, I already have money and the pickings are slim and we both up here. And I know that, sometimes black women are just like, well, it absolutely does matter. But even with Serena, she had more money than her husband. What really matters at their level is a man that still worship the ground that they walk on and praising them instead of like pushing their head up under or trying to humble them. But I just thought I would throw that tidbit in before watching the video.
Something to improve on. So that's really, I guess you could say my driving force, my motivator. So I just want to keep proving people wrong, man. That's it. And the people that believe in me, continue to prove them right.
Yeah, and it never goes away, to be honest with you. Like I played 13 and you feel that every step of the way. Like the moment.
Honestly, don't get into no long shit, bro. I gotta ask you, man. God damn, y'all boys scared. Bro, as us pretty red dimes as we are, how in the hell did you pull Simone Biles? And I love this football talk, bro. I gotta get to it. I'm over here rubbing my knees trying to ask this.
Hey, Chad, I wanted to tell him, he's talking about being looked over. Now, when the right people look at you. You know what I'm saying?
Before I continue with the clip, I just wanted to point out how this guy is saying the Simone Biles, and he's so starstruck by her status and who she is. And these are your type of guys who've probably had the tens of the world and the baddies, and they are still like, her status matters. And don't get me wrong, like, this is a viral clip and this is an old moment from months ago, but I don't think people pointed out, how contradictory these guys are when they talk about status doesn't matter. But in the same token, here you have it, these men, that are letting you know that, hey, it very well does matter,
How did you do that, bro?
Man, it's really how she pulled me, man. That's the question.
Oh,
man.
Lord Jesus. Now you with Freddie. Now it's back. now
But
you
listen,
with
I'm gonna tell you, organic story, man. So I just got to Houston. I probably have been to Houston 7 months. I was single at the time, so I'm just living, being me and myself. And COVID had just hit, but I had just went to Arizona, and one of my boys was like, hey man, you gotta check out this app, and I'm like, nah, I'll check it out. Like, what is it? It was called Raya at the time. So basically it's like a dating app, but you have to go through certain like criteria to make sure that you're who you are. So literally have been on the app for a couple of days, man, and it's like she pops up and I'm like, let me see who this is. Gymnastics, I ain't never, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so it piqued my curiosity, so I'm like, okay, I'll see what's up. I swiped her and it said we matched, so I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see what's up. So I go do my workout and I come back and I get like, I had some likes on my Instagram, and I'm like, oh, this might be. I'm like, okay. So I see what's up, and then I still waited. I'm like, man, I'm gonna wait till I, take a shower and everything. Then I come back to my phone, and then she messages me on the app, like, hey, you know what I mean? And man, this gotta be fake. Like, I don't know. I didn't know who she was at the time, but like the first thing that I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she gotta be good. I promise you, I'm a real life story. When she won the Olympics, I was in college and we didn't have NBC, we didn't have Olympic channels, and we're in camp. Late July, early August, so I'm not paying attention to, so I never would have had a moment to where I would have watched
Jonathan, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me, this was like a Tuesday, and we were texting back and forth, and then we hung out Friday, man, and we couldn't do much as COVID happened, everything was shut down, so she came through down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to drive about 45 minutes to me. Then the rest is history, man.
So you was really the catch in.
I always say the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did though.
Is what you're saying.
Cause I was fighting it. So
in truth, if I say this out loud, was Jonathan Owens ain't really want Simone Biles. Is what you're saying.
At the time, I'm not gonna say that.
That's what you're saying.
I was afraid. I was afraid to commit. I'm like, man, this is my third year. I'm trying to. I'm like, it's kind of early. But like I said, man, it happened when you least expect it. And we hung out, man. It was like we hit it off instantly. We just laughed the whole night. Man, play. Look, go ahead.
I really wanted to talk about football. Did you tell her you didn't know who she was?
Actually, my question to her was like, who's your competition? I didn't know nothing about gymnastics, so I'm just asking her.
Nobody.
Yeah, and that's what she's like. She told me like myself. That's the most vivid memory I have of that. She was like myself.
The one thing that pissed me off about this interview was after he said all of this, then the guys who knew what he was trying to do and knew he was trying to, put himself on a pedestal, they didn't stand firm on holding him accountable, just like a lot of black men do. It's kind of, bro code, we gonna stand together, united, instead of saying, nah, he was wrong for that. And so I just thought it was interesting. It's okay because the world took care of it though and addressed it constantly and humbled him. It was hypocritical of them Because in the same token, remember when Tina Knowles was talking about her ex-husband, and she was saying, I don't know if they're divorced now or what, but she was saying he's by no means perfect at all. And, you know, he was saying all this stuff in the interview, and that clip resurfaced, and everybody was like, oh, heck no, look at her. Like, how's she gonna say, like, he really wasn't the first thing that I wanted and all that? It's kind of sort of the same thing. Like, I'm a prize, and how did she get me? You know, but in the same token, and Tina actually had turned Robert down before. But, and I'm not even saying that what Tina was doing was correct, because she did not have to say what she said about her husband. But I'm just saying, like, they're hypocritical for saying that. Like, everybody got on Tina Knowles' case, but when it came to Jonathan, they was just like, oh no, like, it's not that serious. But then in the Tina Knowles clip, it's just kind of like, she was basically letting him know, you know, you were not my top pick, or I could have had something else, but I got most of what I wanted. And it's sort of similar, like, because it's Jonathan saying, like, oh, like, how did she get me? And neither one of those things had to be said, because when you're in public with people, you guys stand as a united front. You know, you guys stand together. A little jokey joke here, you know, we did this and we did that, and she was messaging me or whatever. But to say, oh, she drove 45 minutes away and all that, I just thought that was interesting how men was like, oh, look at the disrespect that she gave her husband. But then when it came to Jonathan, it's just like, well, there's nothing wrong with what he was saying. He was just joking.
The type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, you know, he has a lot of the qualities. He has a lot of the qualities that that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women, ladies.
So we've discussed that they will try to belittle your accomplishments, and then they will try to tell you you don't look as good as you do. But the other things they'll do is tell you to rate yourself, or they will say, I usually don't date big girls, or I usually don't date dark-skinned girls, or I usually don't date older women. Or they love to talk about your skin tone, and you could be minding your business and you just comment on something, and then they'll say, you a basic such and such girl, or whatever.
I mean, you look all right. You'll look better if you lose about 15, 20 pounds, though. ASAP.
Congratulations on your diploma. We're so proud of you for getting your degree.
Yeah, congratulations. It's cool, but it's not like you got your master's, though. So, like, calm down.
I look like a bad bitch. Babe, look, this is so cute. Like, I'm a bad bitch for real.
Hold on with yourself. You really not all that for real. Like, you really doing too much. Like, cut all that shit out, bro. Like, you really need to be humble, bro. Like, for real. Like, you cute, but you not that cute. Like, this whole act like she look like a Beyonce or something. Calm down.
If you're attractive and you're dating someone who's not as attractive than you, they most likely will try and take you down a peg. If it's a man, you're not that attractive. I've dated people that are more attractive than you. You're like a 6, a 7. Run. That is a sign of an insecure man, because he knows you're too good for him and he wants to take you down a peg. Also, if you have rejected this man as well, he knows what he's doing. He's trying to take you down, so you go and give him a chance again. Don't do it, girl. Don't take insults from people that are beneath you, because you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to humble you. Don't ever let yourself be humble. Don't be humble. You're hot. Own it. Recently happened to a friend of mine who was a 10. A 10. She is stunning. She is perfect. And a man who was bold and looked like he stuck onto earth after she rejected him said that she was a 7. After she rejected him. Let that sink in. And I know people are entitled to their opinion, but your opinion is wrong when it's after someone has rejected you. You literally just want to hurt them, and it won't work. And my friend laughed. Do you know why? Because she knows she's a 10 and she knows that she hurt that man's ego. Laugh at these men.
The other thing that these men will do, they'll talk about you being a single mother and saying you've hit the wall. And then also when you're talking to them in conversation, sometimes they'll, act dry throughout text or whatever. And if he just act nonchalant, just act non-existent. But I just wanted to, go over a few of these humbling tactics that men use to manipulate. And it really just boiled down to that you're out of their league, or they want to get you to lower your standards for them. Or sometimes you're rejecting them and they want you to be like, well, I'm not good enough or better. But that's it for the video today. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for more videos. Bye.